Comic Book Savant Extra. Welcome back to the Comic Book Savant Extra podcast feed. I'm your host, James Harris. This episode, we're going to be doing a recommended reads episode. I know I haven't done one in a little bit. I've done a few like on the fly, but I was kind of trying to do at least one recommended reads episode a month where I kind of rotated through the different publishers, and I kind of dropped the ball on that. And I honestly thought I recorded this episode because I had did all the research on what books I wanted to talk about, and totally forgot I hadn't recorded this one. So I was going through my notes, looking at, I haven't done a recommended reads episode in a while. And I was like, I had this episode keyed up that I could have swore I recorded, and I searched everywhere just to make sure I wasn't doing it this same episode again. And I was like, oh, no, I actually didn't do it. Did all the work and remembered doing the research for it, but never actually sat and recorded it. But when I do finally get to recording the like behind the scenes of how my workflow, you guys will see how easily and how rapidly I come up with ideas, and I will do outlines to record stuff. And sometimes they get lost in the shuffle because I forget other different things that I want to cover, or, something shifts in the industry and I cover that instead. But with all that out of the way, we're going to jump into just a couple of books. And this episode is funny because I was going to do this episode like months ago, that some of the books I'm recommending are really coming into relevance soon, or could be considered coming into relevance soon. First book that I wanted to talk about, and again, this is all going to be Marvel-centric books. I'm going to talk about 5 different books or runs of books that I'm recommending to you guys to check out. First one I wanted to recommend is Black Widow, the Black Widow series that ran from only 2014 to 2015. It was only 20 issues long in length, so this is something that you could pick up. I think it was collected in 3 trades. It was written by Nathan Edmondson, and the artwork was done by Phil Noto. This was a really great series. It had a slight crossover to Nathan Edmondson's Punisher that he did at the same time. He wrote both books consecutively, and he also had a limited series that was on the Western character Red Wolf. That I have that trade. I haven't read it yet, but I really like Nathan Dings, and he started over at Image. He came over to some Marvel work. I don't know if he's still doing any work at Marvel or not. I haven't seen his name come up as much recently, but he does a lot of kind of spy-related writing, and I really haven't enjoyed it. But this was a really fun series. Again, it's covered in about 3 trades. You have Black Widow Volume 1, The Finely Woven Thread, Black Widow Volume 2, The Tightly Tangled Web, and Black Widow Volume 3, The Last Days. This was before, I think, Mark Waid and Chris Sammy did their more current run on Black Widow. We do have a Black Widow movie coming up May of next year, so I don't know how much influence is going to be pulled from this series, or maybe characters from this series that we might see pop up in some shape, form, or fashion in that movie. So it could be a good reference point of something to check out. And again, it's only 20 issues, so this is something that you can really pick up and read through rather quickly. And like I said, it's really great writing, fantastic visuals. If you're not familiar with Phil Noto, his artwork is just totally stunning. He does the artwork throughout the whole book. If I don't recall, I don't think he has any fill-in artists draw through at all during the 20 issues, and it's just something a quick read through. And I'll as a bonus pick, if you like this, if you read this Black Widow and enjoy it, pick up Nathan Edmondson's Punisher run, which runs about 21 issues as well. Like I said, they ran at the same time. Who did the artwork on that? Mitch Gerards. That he's gotten a lot of notoriety for his Mr. Miracle work with Tom King. But this is where I first came across Mitch Gerard's work, is on that Edmondson's Punisher book. And they also did a book over at Image called The Agent. No, is it The Agency? I hate this. I can't remember it. I have it. Let me check Comixology real quick. I hate that. It starts with an A, but I want to make sure I tell you guys right. So just in case it is. No, excuse me. The Activity is what it's called, not the agency. The Activity, but it's a spy book of a kind of an agency, kind of like a black ops agency, CIA ops type deal. But I think it's the whole series runs about 4 trades, and that's another bonus pick. So I gave you 2 bonus picks for my first pick of my 5 books here. I know it's confusing. Stick with me. We'll get there. But again, that's just some other work. If you like what you read in Black Widow, you have 2 other recommendations. You have Edmondson's Punisher run, that was around 2014 to 2015 as well. And then in the work he did over at Image before that, which is The Activity, which is 4 trades long. So, you can pick up all these books and read through on a weekend easily. Because I think the Punisher run is about 3 trades and The Activity is about 4. Next book I want to talk about is Mark Wade's, Marcos Martin and Paulo Rivera's Daredevil run. It ran from 2011 to 2014. They did another one where Chris Sammy came on and Mark Wade did another volume uh, on that. But I really enjoyed this run. It ran 36 issues and had 1 annual. You can get this, it's collected through. They have Daredevil by Mark Wade volumes 1 through 3. They're oversized hardcover collections. It's 3 volumes of them that collects everything that I mentioned here, 1 through 36 in the annual. In it, again, they started another volume, but again, the his second run on Daredevil had Chris Sammy working on him, which coincidentally goes back to where you would pick up coming off of Nathan Edmondson's Black Widow run, because they went from Daredevil over to Black Widow, that creative team. So definitely check this run out. It came when Marvel started doing their Marvel Now initiative, and I think it was Daredevil, Punisher, what was it, Moon Knight? It was like one other character, and they were kind of in their own pocket when Marvel Now was like launching up, and they start doing that whole initiative. And this corner was called like Big Shots, and they were more street level heroes. And they had huge creative teams. You had, like I said, Mark Wade and Marcos Martin on Daredevil. You had Greg Rucka and Marco Checheco on Punisher. And like I said, it was one other book, and I cannot remember what the other book was, but I thought it was 3 books that had the Big Shots, like in that was under that umbrella of books at the time. But this was like really bringing Daredevil back to his roots, and it was just so well written, so well drawn. I just really attached to this run, and it's really enjoyable. And like I said, you can pick this up. You can pick it up more in trays, but if you want to go the best route, to do it in the least number of books, try to find out these hardcovers. Like I said, Daredevil by Mark Wade volumes 1, 2, and 3 collects this whole run, issues 1 through 36 and annual 1. Definitely worth scooping up. Another Marvel book I want to recommend is Fantastic Four. This is a shorter run of books. It ran from 1998. Well, it's the Fantastic Four volume. I don't know what volume of Fantastic Four this is. It ran from 1998 to 2012. The numbering, they switched over the numbering on this. The issues that I'm speaking of are issues 35 through 50. They were done by Carlos Pacheco. He, he's a phenomenal artist, but at this point, he actually wrote a run of issues. He wrote and drew them, and they're issues 35 through 50. They switched back to the uh, traditional numbering after issue 50. I think this run might be considered volume 2, because it was after they did Heroes Reborn, and they came back with Heroes Return. I think it was under that numbering scheme. Um, And so I think this is volume 2 of Fantastic Four. It's not any specific trade that covers this run, which I don't know why. I went back. I owned the books initially, and I think it actually was a a trade. I had it at one point. I think it wasn't all completed in trade. Again, it's issues 35 through 50. Um, it was a Fantastic Four. I think Flesh and Stone or Flesh and Bone. I think it was one of the trades, but they're no longer in print. And I've been looking like everywhere since so much stuff is getting reprinted now. I have a feeling where they're kind of going with Fantastic Four with the Epic collections that it might be collected at that point as an Epic collection, that series of books. But as of right now, the trades that were out at the time, initially out, because I had the single issues and I went back and I got the trades as well. Um, but again, just how they're out of print. I have not seen them. I looked for them. I ended up having to just through, since I'm all digital now, I ended up just picking up these issues individually through Comixology. Um, to just get it, and because it's no digital trades for this run either at this point. But it was just really grassroots. It was good seeing one of my favorite artists then come on and do try his hand at writing and just doing fantastic, pardon the pun, fantastic visuals. And I just loved the look and just the stories. It was really a throwback to classic Fantastic Four stories, with just super scroll, gray gargoyle, just like classic kind of Namor popped up in there, a nihilist, just like classic Fantastic Four stories in that brief run. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Most people don't talk about it much or often. But it was a really fun run. So if you can pick that up, it's definitely worth reading. um, Next book I want to talk about is Herc. It ran from 2011 to 2012. It was a 10 issue run. It was written by Greg Pak uh, and Fred Van Lente. It has been collected. It was initially collected, I think, in two smaller trades, but now you can find it in Herc, the complete series by Greg Pak and Fred Van Lente, and get all 10 issues in just one trade. Nice and easy peasy. Um, just well written. They had collaborated. It was a period during like I think 2009 to like 2010ish, I think, that maybe for a year and a half, like Hercules took over the Incredible Hulk book, and it was called the Incredible Hercules, and the two writers collaborated on that. So they decided, then Hulk came back, took over the book, back over his book, and then they did the spin-off series that unfortunately it was supposed to be an ongoing series. It did not last long, but it was really fun for what it was. They had a really good handle on the character, um, and it was just a good book. It's just enough people didn't buy it at the time, and it only made it to 10 issues, but it was a fun 10 issues, and it's worth taking a look at. And last but not least, one of my favorite books of kind of this time frame and this era that you can really get into, and this book started around the time that the Marvel Cinematic Universe started relaunching Iron Man as a higher elevated character in the comic book universe. He's the center of the MCU, but at this time, Iron Man could not keep a book going at the time. This is the book I'm speaking of is Invincible Iron Man. It started back in 2008. It ran through 2012. It ran. They changed the numbering, but so it Invincible Iron Man ran from issue 1 through 33. Then it had annual 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, which I think was a three-part Mandarin story. And then they switched back to the traditional Iron Man numbering, and then it ran from 500 to 527. So this is the most lengthy run of the books that I've talked about in this recommended reads. Um, it's a bunch of trades. They made one. It's an oversized hardcover that would remind you of a kind of feel of an omnibus. It's called Iron Man by Fraction and LaRocca, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. They never did that I remember, or it's out of print and hasn't come back into print. You can actually find this digitally because I know more and more you guys are switching over to digital like I have been. And I've been frustrated because you can't find the rest of the volumes in this format. It's a bunch of trades. So you can get this first volume. It's called Iron Man by Fraction and LaRocca, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. And it has Invincible Iron Man's issues 1 through 19, which if you can find this, and digitally they have it on Comixology. If you use Comixology, that's what I primarily use. Let me see here. Did I buy it? I'm trying to see if it's in my collection. I think I bought it on here. Trying to find it. Yeah, okay. I did pick it up. I picked this up to have the whole run. I picked up everything I hadn't read. I had this in physical form, and it was an oversized hardcover. Like I said, kind of gave you a feel of a mini omnibus. Like I said, because it had the first 19 issues in it. It's 492 pages long. You can get it on Comixology. Actually, Marvel has it's a sale going on Comixology as this recording. So when you hear this, the sale will still be going on. You can actually get this for $6. Well, this is what my discount, because I'm subscribed to Comixology Unlimited. Well, my discount is $6.79 right now as of this recording. If you're subscribed to it, it might be a little bit more. They automatically show it with my discount, so I can't tell you what it would be if you didn't. But it's marked down. It's normally $19.99. You can get it for, like I said, around $7 or so if you don't have the discount. Because it's a massive sale going on right now. So you could get the first 19 issues, see if you like it, and then continue from there. But the rest you would have to get in trade. But I would recommend picking this up because it's basically what's covered in this collection is about 4 trades worth. So it's probably going to be more expensive to get the 4 individual trades to equal what you're going to pay for this, especially right now with it being on sale. So I would jump on this, and if you read it and then you like it, then pick up the rest of the series, because you're going to have to pick it up via trade, because they never did any more volumes that I see here that are I'm looking. Yeah, you would have to, the rest of the series, you would have to get through the individual trades. Some of them, if you're subscribed to Comixology Unlimited, you can get some of them. Some of them are a part of Comixology Unlimited, where you can check them out on the service for free if you're subscribed to Unlimited to check out to go further. But get this first volume. I think if you really enjoy it, then go further with the series. It was I haven't even finished reading it. I got about halfway through. I didn't have the rest of the volumes. I've picked them up, I think, over this past year, through numerous sales. Like when Endgame came out, they had a massive Marvel sale, and I finally finished getting all the volumes. So I need to do a massive sit down to finish reading the series. I think I have like 3 or 4 trades to finish the whole series. I've read everything else in between, but definitely worth a pickup. And like I said, here's just some cool recommendations. As the holiday season, people are going to be off. There's a lot of great sales going on right now that just kicked in. Comixology, like every major publisher right now, has a sale going on Comixology. Massive sales for the end of the year, going into the holidays, Christmas holiday. So definitely, if you have some extra money, you can really load up on some good stuff. But definitely great deals to be had in any of these series. You should be able to pick up a part of that sale right now, because they got massive books that are a part of that Marvel sale. But that's all I have for you guys for this episode. Again, I'm going to be more consistent in the new year, doing more recommended reads. Like I said, I'll rotate through the different publishers, so it won't be Marvel, DC. It'll be Image, it'll be Valiant, anything from a publisher that I'm reading that I can recommend because I've actually read something from them. I will do one on that publisher, and I will keep those going. Like I said, going into the new year. But that's all I have for you guys for this episode. I thank you so much for your continued support here on Patreon. This will, well, I will probably have one more episode for before the year's out. Um, it will probably be movie review. I'm going to keep that under wraps on what movie it's going to be, but it should be a movie review coming next week. And then we're going into the new year, and then we'll be with another comic book haul episode. So, and I might have quite a bit with all these sales going on and getting some Christmas money coming in. I'm going to kind of try to snatch up a bunch of stuff I've been holding off on. So definitely take advantage of that sale over on Comixology while you can. But again, you guys, if I don't talk to you soon, you guys have a happy holiday. You guys be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. You guys take care and be good.